Hi, I'm Laura from Swaddle Creative and I help businesses be braver, bolder and more brilliant through design. I'm here to ask you a little bit of a riddle today. I want to know, are you looking after your hardest working employee? Now, this employee eats, sleeps, breathes your business. They are out there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, never thinking about anything else other than working hard for your business. Now, it's not you, as hard as you might be working on, more for self-care. The employee I am talking about is your website. Now, you probably figured that out, but it's a valid question. Are you looking after your website as if it was one of your employees? Because, as I say, it is arguably your hardest working employee, or at least it should be. Now, it's not enough just to have an employee or a website who is just drifting along aimlessly, not bringing back what you need from them for your business. So there are some simple questions you can ask yourself to work out whether your employee or indeed your website is working hard enough for your business. Now, the first question is, what is its job description? You would never ever ever dream of hiring anybody if you didn't know what their job was going to be. You never say to them, well, you might be sweeping the floors, you might be doing the finances, we'll see, turn up on Monday and we'll see how it goes. You wouldn't dream of it. And the same goes for your website. When you set out to build a new website, or if you're looking at your existing website, work out what the most important thing you want your customers to do on it is. Do you want them to buy a product? Do you want them to get in touch? Do you want them to be able to find where the physical location of your business is? Do you want to see events? Do you want them to be able to look at your products? Do you want them to be able to share it with their friends on social media? Work out what specifically is the most important thing for your website to do. Personally, for me, it is showing examples of my work and then allowing people to get in touch. It's a portfolio and a contact site. So for me, it has to be super duper easy for people to be able to see what's on my site, see my work, and then be able to get in touch. Is it clear and simple for your customers to be able to do that? The second question is it looking the part? Now, you would never dream of sending somebody out to a trade show or to meet a customer who was shabbily dressed, or who didn't know what they were supposed to say, or they didn't have the right materials, they had old business cards or no business cards or no leaflets to hand out to your customers. And a website that is looking past its best is effectively that employee. It sends out a really negative impression of your company, and very often it can be the first impression. So if buttons don't click through as they're supposed to, if contact forms don't work, if your calendar hasn't been updated for months or even years, you see it. If the information is not there, if perhaps it just hasn't had any updates in a few years. The internet moves really quickly, and a site that hasn't been looked at in even as little as 3 to 5 years can look really out of date, look, past its best and a little bit old-fashioned. Chances are these sites are not going to work on mobiles. They're not going to keep up with how your customers need to interact with your business. So it's crucial that your website is well presented, up to date, has all the information it needs to do its job, all the tools, and it'll do a really brilliant job for your business, and it'll look the part and give that great first impression. Lastly, and this might sound a little bit silly, but I think this one is really important, are you giving it its annual review? If you've got a physical human employee, chances are you probably sit down once a year with a cup of coffee and talk about the performance from the past year. You talk about whether they've met their goals, whether they've done the job as they're supposed to, whether you're happy with their performance, how it's going to go forward in the year ahead, whether you're going to keep them on for the year ahead. And I think this is a really, really crucial thing to do with your website, to sit down, again, probably with a cup of coffee once a year, and just make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. Check out your analytics. Who's visiting? How often are they visiting? Are certain pages performing better than others? Are certain pages performing really poorly? Find out why. Is it in need of some new technology to do its job? Does it need an upgrade? Does it need some new kit? Has your business grown and you want to give it bigger, better goals for the year ahead, give it a bit of a bonus, so to speak? These are all brilliant questions to ask, and I always say that a website is an evolving thing. People get really hung up when they launch a new website going, oh, but in 6 months' time we might need it to do this. In a year's time we might need it to do that. Great, you probably will. The way websites are built, the way we build websites certainly, is that they are an ever-evolving thing. It's easy to add bits, it's easy to make them grow, it's easy to change bits if things aren't working. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Tweaks, changes, evolutions along the way could be exactly what your customers need to see that your business has grown, that your services have expanded. An annual review is a fantastic thing to do for your website. I really, really recommend it. So, like an employee, you got to make sure that you've got the right thing out there doing what you needed to do for your company. And the right website is going to take your company, streets ahead, sky's the limit. So why not sit down with a cup of coffee sometime this week and give your website its annual review? Go over its goals ahead for the year ahead. Or maybe it's time to let it go and rehire yourself a website that's a little bit better for the job. Could be time. These are the questions. So that's my challenge to you for this week, to, give that employee of yours a little bit of TLC and a little bit of attention, and you'll be amazed at the wonders it can do for your business. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.